beautiful people, my name is Jenna and welcome to my channel. I am so excited to see you. I'm so excited for this video. If you've never seen my face before, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can be updated when I make new videos like this, because I like to talk about seemingly taboo topics a lot. So I'm super excited because today I'm working with Nick's teen on the Period Talk Challenge, which is challenging girls to talk more openly about periods and feminine health, to create a more supportive and open discussion surrounding the topics, because a lot of people are afraid to talk about periods. They're like, oh my god, gross, ew, especially boys in middle school, let's be real. So creating an open and supportive discussion is what I want to do today with this video. I want to help you guys make your lives easier, because periods are a fact of a lot of your guys' lives. So I'm going to be sharing a really horrifying, embarrassing period story of mine that happened to me when I was in high school, and then I'm going to kind of give you guys some tips and tricks and the ultimate period hack. We'll stick around for that so that things like that don't happen to you. So one of the most embarrassing stories for me comes from middle school. I went to a private school. It was not an all-girls private school. It was co-ed, but it was a private school, and so we had uniforms. So we had these blue plaid skirts, and my period was super irregular when I first got it, which is, I think, normal. So, you know, it takes a little bit for your body to get on a schedule, and I never really knew when my period was coming. But anyways, little me is just minding my own business in the 8th grade. In math class, I think, because I hated math class, so it was like especially mortifying. I'm just sitting there minding my own. I felt, you know, a gush. I think I sneezed or something, and I was like, oh no. And I looked down, and there is blood just like pooled, you know, in the chair, and I was like, oh my god, that means it's on my skirt. And I'm in the front of the classroom. Everyone is gonna see my bloody butt, and my teachers were also really strict about going to the bathroom, which didn't help either. So I ended up having my friend go tell my teacher, you know, Jenna's having a feminine emergency and really needs to go to the bathroom. And she was like, okay, and like gave me the signal to go. And so I, you know, try to wait for a time that like no one's really looking, and I stand up, and I, you know, since my butt was to the class, I tried to like kind of turn around and like scoot out, facing the class, but people definitely saw. No one made comments at that moment, but I know that they were looking, all the boys, and I was just so humiliated. My face must have been as red as like the blood on my skirt, honestly. The guys were still really immature at this stage, and it was still, you know, not totally commonplace for girls to have their periods, but people were talking about it after, and I had to end up going to the nurse and getting a new skirt and stuff, and you could tell because that skirt didn't fit me very well. It was like really big, so everyone saw me wearing like my too big skirt. It's totally normal, and you shouldn't feel, I got like humiliated over something that happens to all girls, but at the same time, if you can avoid situations like this, it's good to do that. You know, I was so afraid of leaking that I would wear a tampon and a pad, which, you know, in theory is okay, but that's kind of uncomfortable. First of all, I'm not a fan of pads, and second of all, it's expensive. Tampons and pads are not cheap, so you can imagine how pumped I was the day that I discovered period underwear. You guys, life changed. And like I said earlier in this video, I'm working with Nick's teen, and as you guys know, I'm really picky with the brands that I work with, and I don't just work with any company. I believe in this brand, and I believe in period panties, you guys. So I'm gonna talk about period thongs, y'all, because for a while, you know, I made a video about thongs because I like thongs, and I enjoy different kinds of underwear. And for a while, I would get these like panty liners that went in thongs, but obviously that's not super secure. So this is the really cute package that the Nick's teen underwear comes in. So I'm going to be talking about uses for a period kit after this, and so this is going to come into play. So the point of the period panties is to stop embarrassing leaks from happening. They absorb 2 tampons worth of liquid. These are the bikini style panties. And basically, you know, you can wear them with a tampon, and they can be, you know, additional protection, or you can wear them just on their own. They dry really easily, really quickly, so you're not wet all day like you are with pads. It's also moisture wicking and anti-odor, which helps a lot when you're on your period, because there's just a lot going down down there. And like basically they have this kind of lining that keeps it tight so that there's no overflow, there's no like odor or anything like that. You know, this stuff is secure on your booty. If you look at the crotch of this, it's not like you have a pad in it. It looks and it feels like, you know, my normal underwear. It's, you know, not diaper feeling or anything like that, which is a surprise, honestly, because I thought that period underwear would have to be diaper-like to work, but it doesn't. It just has to have good technology. You literally just toss it in the washer at the end of the day, and it's clean. And since it's black, you know, you don't have to worry about like stains or anything like that. And it looks really good. These are the boy short ones. Cute, am I right? And then NYX Wear, you know, the adult line also has these thongs, which I'm so excited about. You know, this is literally my dream come true, girlfriend. These are activewear thongs, which are really great for working out. And I use these even if I don't have my period, just because like moisture-wise and sweat-wise and odor-wise, these lock it down, my friends. Look at how snazzy this is. You know, another thong. And they also have sports bras and some other stuff. I'm wearing this sports bra right now because it is literally my favorite sports bra that I've ever owned. I'm just gonna show you. I don't know if you can see it, but it goes down, so it's like a crop top almost. I love it so much. So if you want to see me in the period panties and see what they look like on, they look great. Also, they're very fashionable and functional. They're on my Instagram at It's Jenna Larson. Honestly, the game has been changed forever, and today's your guys' lucky day because if you go to the link down in my description and you use the code Jenna15 at checkout, you can get 15% your order of NYX teen goods. You can get those period panties. And honestly, one of my favorite parts about the product is that it is so environmentally friendly because you're not spending all of that money on pads and tampons. You know, you know, whatever happens, the underwear happens, you wash them, you're done. So it saves you money and it saves the planet, which y'all know I'm all about. So that's fun. And beyond that, like I mentioned earlier, since school is coming up, I would urge you guys to make a period kit. If you get the stuff from NYX Teen, you get a baggie right here. And I would urge you to put in there, you know, your period panties, first of all, you know, a change of underwear, whatever, pads, tampons, put some wipes in there, get some feminine hygiene wipes, because that can kind of clean you up and make you feel fresh, you know, especially if you're wearing pads. I find a lot that makes me just feel down there, and so that'll clean you up. You know, you just sneak that stuff off to the bathroom and you can clean yourself up. There's also sprays that you can get from Summer's Eve that I would recommend, that you spray like on the outside of your panties if you're self-conscious about odor and stuff like that. You know, Midol or Advil or whatever if you're having cramps. And girl, don't forget the chocolate. Put some chocolate in there because you deserve it and you need to treat yourself. And you can put it in a bag like this one, and then you can just put it in your locker, you can put it in your backpack, your purse, whatever. You know, it's not such a scary thing, you know, if you get your period, you got it. You got the kit, girl. So I hope that this video helped you out a little bit and gave you some inspiration, and also like the greatest secret ever period panties. Go get them. The link is in the description. And I love you guys so much, and subscribe if you haven't already because I post a lot of like girl talk type videos like this one. If you have any questions about anything related to periods or, you know, feminine health, leave them down below or leave them in my Tumblr ask box, because like I said, the point of the Period Talk Challenge is to create this dialogue so we can talk more openly about this stuff, so it's not so scary and it's not so taboo. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!